guys, we're gonna look at this, the Adimanti Sampson. You're gonna see it spinning around, but I'm gonna tell you, this thing is a lot of fun. It's been here for a while. I did not do a first day carry because when I realized that I still had this, I threw it in my pocket and I just started carrying it because it is a lot of fun. So let's turn this around. We'll look at it from above. We'll get some specs. We'll get some carry options. We'll get the good. We'll get the bad. So stand by for that logo. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this has probably been one of the most fun budget folders I've had come in for a while. It does have some issues. We'll talk about the good, the bad, but what we're gonna look at is this thing makes a case for itself to be considered a tactical folder. I don't like to say it often. Tactical folders, I think fixed blades are tactical knives, but this definitely makes a case for itself. So this is the Adimanti by Firebird, the Adimanti by Ganzo Knives. It's the Sampson. Now this is a Sampson design done in D2 steel. So this is a steel handle, but there is some sort of coating. I couldn't find any information about the coating, but it gives it a very attractive look. So it's in G10 steel, D2 steel blade. So let's get some stuff out, do some size comparison. I really like this knife. I think this is the best $50 worth of fun you're gonna have in the knife market right now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to flip it this way so it lays nice and flat. We'll get a couple things out for size comparison. First knife's going to be the Benchmade 940. So you can see this is not a small knife. The Benchmade 940 is a full-size EDC. This thing is probably about 3/4 of an inch to an inch longer if you look at it there. You might get a little bit of parallax, but yeah, you can see not a small knife. Your next knife is going to be the Reat Horizon D. Mine is in carbon fiber. So this is just a shade under 9 inches. So you can see right there, really good size comparison. They're almost 1 for 1. So you can see not a small knife. And your last knife for comparison, as always, is the Chris Reeve Sebenza. So you can see it's just a little bit smaller than this Sampson design by Ganzo. Adimanti's their offshoot brand, I guess. So yeah, not a small knife, really good size overall. Let's get this out of the way and start talking about this. So let's get into this. Let's take a good look at the knife overall, and we'll talk about the good stuff and the bad stuff. So this is a very, very attractive offering from the Adimanti line done by Ganzo Knives. Like I said, you're getting a big D2 blade, checkered G10. It is a liner lock, steel liner lock with a one-sided pocket clip. It is not ambidextrous, and you do have these big quillions on here that give you full handguard. So I would say that with all of this, the shape of the handle, the fact that you have the double guard on it and everything, this makes a case for itself to be considered a tactical knife. I have to admit that this one absolutely falls in that category. As you can see, really attractive. Let's talk about the good stuff. So this knife is beautifully done. And like I said, you're looking at a $50 knife. I want you to keep that in mind. I was really surprised. I didn't do a first day in pockets. I just put this in my pocket and I'm like, I'm not going to take the time to film this. I like this so much. Nice checkered G10 on this. The grip on it is amazing. It is nice and rounded around from the center line over. It's basically chamfered all the way from center line to the scales. Great looking knife. Pocket clip, interesting pocket clip. It is not uncomfortable. As sharp as that looks, it's not uncomfortable at all. They did some sort of coating on these on the handles, the steel handles for the liner lock and everything, and the liners. They did a really good job of it. It gets a very nice look. Your blade is done in D2. And before I forget, yes, this came stupid sharp when it came to me from Jared. I have not had any of the newer Ganzo made knives, either Firebirds or this Adimanti line. I have not had any of them that came poorly sharpened. This one does have a little bit of a hiccup at the very tip where it kind of comes down, where it's ground in. After first sharpening, I'm pretty sure that you could even that out. You can kind of see it here where there's a low spot right in here. I would just have to reprofile that Not a huge issue if you're good at sharpening knives. D2 is an easy steel to sharpen. But as far as how it came edgewise, very, very sharp. It is a dagger, so it is a little bit thicker behind the edge than typically I would like. I would just say that this is probably 0.03 behind the edge. I cannot find my calipers. I've put them somewhere. In hand, super comfortable. This thing is a tactical knife in purpose. It is not meant for like your day-to-day cutting tasks, even though it would carry them out amicably. This thing is really good in hand in this grip. Very, very tactical. Reverse grip, any of the grips you've got it in, it has a very stiletto dagger-esque style, World War II style dagger, like a Fairbairn, something like that. Nice swell at the back, so you feel, even though there's not a lot of dimensions to the handle, it does swell a little to the tail, so it's got this little narrow area here. You feel very secure in your grip. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out. And that textured G10 definitely adds to that. You got a nice center. Sorry about that. There was a truck that pulled up. What I was saying is you got a nice center fuller that goes the majority of the length down the blade, more than halfway. It's done really well on both sides. You got a top swedge that thins out that tip, makes it very, very piercing. And I don't see a misgrind really on this swedge. A lot of times these swedges have a tendency to be uneven from side to side. It's done very well, nice and clean. There is a bit of it's not quite centered at the very tip. You can see here, and that could be kind of why this has got a little low spot here. But all in all, for a $50 knife, very well ground. No blade play. Lockup is nice and solid, and the action on these bearings is very good. I don't see this winding up being a knife that you would have very many problems with. And like I said, in hand, surprisingly comfortable. As sharp as that pocket clip is, I was fully expecting this to really, really bother me. So a lot of good stuff going for this knife. If you're into this kind of dagger style, this thing is a lot of fun. It's very attractive. I probably will look at purchasing one of these. I haven't had the want for a knife for a while, but at $50, I just kind of almost want one. So we talked about the good stuff. Let's turn this around. We'll flip the knife and look at the bad stuff. Flip side of the coin. Because like I always say, if you're going to be honest, you're probably going to find bad things about a knife, no matter how much you like it. Okay. Let's talk about the bad. Well, the bad is it is a dagger grind, and so it's going to be a little thicker behind the edge than a lot of other knives. It has a very good edge that they did a really good job transitioning down, but because it is got this central high spot, you don't have anywhere near the distance to transition. It would almost have been better to maintain this spear point style blade and then just do it as a full flat grind. I think that would have made it a much better EDC knife, but it still is attractive like this. Next thing is, if you happen to pick this up, it's hard to index in the dark which way this goes, except for the pocket clip. So if you were to grab this, it's easy to find. It's easy to get the sides mixed up and realize that you can't flip it because you got it backwards in hand. The next thing is, it is a little heavy. It is a stainless steel liner lock, which I do have to say, they did do a lot of weight reduction, but because of the tail caps and the bolster look to it, it definitely is a little heavier. That's a big chunk of steel, and you have a partial back spacer. That does kind of add to the weight. It's not a light knife, but it's not overly heavy. I'm not trying to say this is going to pull your pants down while you're walking around with it. I carried it a lot, even in a pair of shorts. If you are into lanyards, it does have a lanyard post. Problem is, it's directly centerline. A lot of times, if I have something with a lanyard, I would much prefer it to be on the side over here, where it's not directly down the center, because in hand, the only reason is in hand, I can push it, it's up in here as opposed to hanging out where it's going to like rattle around. I can kind of pinch it if it's on the back here. I can kind of pinch it in my hand and it doesn't rattle around as much. So if you were to put a very long lanyard on this, it may get in the way and then come up here where you would get it cut. That would be the only thing I would say about that, but it's very well done on that. The pocket clip is very tight, which you want a fairly decent tight pocket clip, but the problem with it is the G10 is very aggressive. This definitely will tear up pockets. I actually had to take pocket lint out from under this. I have the pair of jeans that I'm currently wearing. It kind of tore them up pretty bad. They already had a little bit of a fray at the top of the pocket. So solution for that, if you really wanted to, if this was your knife, you could take the pocket clip off and mark where you want to and kind of clean that up so that the pressure of that point of that pocket clip is not directly on this diamond. Just flatten it out. I've had to do that with other knives that had really aggressive G10. I just had to basically sand a little area there. And then the final thing is it's not meant for like your average day-to-day. This is not a knife that is, how do you want to say it, polite, society friendly. This is one of those knives that, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great knife, but it is very aggressive looking. And there's a lot of places that you go where that's kind of frowned on. But overall, like great knife overall, especially at the price point. Like I said, $50. I'm going to put an Amazon link to it in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing it. It is an amazing knife at $50. I was very surprised when I looked at the price. I knew it was going to be relatively inexpensive because, like I said, it is a Ganzo design. It's a Ganzo knife under their Adimanti line. But I was not expecting $50 for this. And the fact is, they're using steel instead of titanium. There's a cost cutting. They're using G10 instead of like carbon fiber and some of those things. And they're using D2, which is a much more relatively cheaper steel on the spectrum of knives. Still a very good steel. And I was kind of surprised. I carried this a lot and I got zero discoloration or rust on this D2 knife. So I don't know, D2 has several different configurations and compositions that still fall in that D2. So I'm not sure what one it is, but I definitely like it. I love the finish on it. So all around good knife. I could keep going about this because it is so much fun. So I will turn this around. We'll do some final thoughts and send you out about your day. But I definitely recommend this knife. So like I said, guys, not much wrong with this at all. I really like it a lot. Only a couple small little issues. It is very well done for the price point. So you guys saw the price earlier. I will try to put up a purchase link on this. This is a lot of fun. This is one of those ones that fits in, I don't like to say it, but it definitely fits that tactical folder category. I mean, this is definitely very aggressive, but it is a lot of fun and it's surprisingly good. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure that you've got your notification settings to all and make sure you've got notifications turned on your device. If you want to support the channel financially, there's a bunch of ways you can do it. The best way is, like I said, affiliate links. All of that stuff down below supports the channel. It doesn't cost you anything at checkout, and anything you purchase, it comes directly to me. There are a couple that have discounts. Dollstrong Knives, who has provided me some of the best sharpening stones I've had in a long time, and some really good kitchen knives. 10% off your order. Coffee Brand Coffee, which is why I'm so hyper this morning, because I drink it here in the shop. 5% off your overall order. I really like their number 3 medium roast. That would be the one I recommend. Atlas VPN is still offering 80% off a 2-year subscription for the holidays, and Airfare Consolidator can save you 3% of your overall domestic airfare travel. Other ways you can do it, I have a membership down below that gets you in on a bunch of tier-based benefits. Baseline and premium guys automatically are in or do a giveaway. Premium tier guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series that I do here on YouTube, and everyone has access to the Gilded server, which is where I do the giveaway for the baseline and premium tier members. And the final way is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. Anything you purchase on Ember Shirt Co., whether it's mine or other creators' merchandise, I can save you 10% at checkout with the coupon code CrazySharp, capital C, capital S. CrazySharp saves you 10%. It's all one word, by the way. CrazySharp, capital C, capital S. CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10% at checkout. Guys, that's it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.